Hello, I am in one of New York's beautiful parks. Um, I had picked a different park today that there's a park that has a huge length of split rail fences along this field, and when you're situated in such a way that you can see the entire length behind you, it's kind of a cool angle. But as you might be able to tell, it's pouring rain, and so I picked a different park, and I hope you enjoy the nature, God's creation. Behind me, I always like to have a good nature scene as a backdrop. Um, I'd like to share three or four key points that really speak to me in the Bible in Genesis chapter 1 as it relates to our origins and things that strengthen how the words come off the page in Scripture. Because so I am a Bible believing follower of Christ, and I ascribe to the creation account of 7 days of creation, and maybe even the young earth position. I so far in my life, I am unconvinced of the millions and billions of years of evolution, macroevolution that is. So I'm going to go ahead and read excerpts from Genesis chapter 1, specifically the creation days 5 and 6. And then I'll speak more of it. The few things that really stand out, though, are the repetition of, like when I see repetition in Scripture, it's God trying to tell us something. I believe it's God saying that, speaking to the men that penned the Scripture back then. He's saying people are going to blow it. They're not going to get this right. So we need certain little keys to help them along and emphasize certain things. And I believe the use of repetition in Scripture is just that. So a few things. The repetition of when he's creating life, whether it's plants, animals, birds, fish, according to their kind, according to its kind. Like specifically, it's not just throwing out some ambiguous process of, of millions of years of whatever. It's specifically delineating that, and with everything that He created, it adds, and God saw that it was good, and He saw that it was good. And the other thing is the each day of creation. You would say evening, then morning, the first day, evening, then morning, the second day, and so forth. So I'm going to go ahead and read for you again days 5 and 6. Then God said, "Let the waters abound with an abundance of living creatures, and let birds fly above the earth across the face of the firmament of the heavens." So God created great sea creatures and every living thing that moves, with which the waters abounded, according to their kind, and every winged bird according to its kind. And God saw that it was good. And God blessed them, saying, "Be fruitful and multiply, and fill the waters in the seas, and let birds multiply on the earth." So the evening and the morning were the fifth day. Then God said, "Let the earth bring forth the living creatures according to its kind, cattle and creeping things and beasts of the earth, each according to its kind." And it was so. And God made the beast of the earth according to its kind, cattle according to its kind, and everything that creeps on the earth according to its kind. And God saw that it was good. Then God said, "Let us make man in our image, according to our likeness. Let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, over the birds of the air, and over the cattle, over all the earth, over every creeping thing that creeps on the earth." So God created man in His own image. In the image of God He created him, male and female. He created them. And I'm going to jump to verse 31, still in chapter 1. Then God saw everything that he had made, and indeed it was very good. So the evening and the morning were the sixth day. So those are very interesting and I believe compelling repetitions to send the message of how God spoke us into existence. And that he did that in 7 literal days, 6 days, and on the 7th day he rested. Now, in Hebrew, the word for day is yom. And yes, I know yom can mean period of time, the days of Noah, the days of King so-and-so, but it also means a period of what we know to be a 24-hour day. And then moreover, coupled with, evening and then morning the first day, evening, then morning the second day, and so forth. That just, to me, further drives that home. So that's extremely interesting aspects of our creation. And to me, the use of the phrase, God saw that it was good, and then finally on the 6th day when he created us and everything, and he saw that it was indeed very good, I interpret that as God's good is perfection. That's how he designed us. He designed us for perfection. And it wasn't until, and this, I may do this in a different future clip, where that perfection was broken with the sin of Adam. Adam and Eve broke that perfect relationship and introduced death and sin. So every single human being that has ever lived and that lives and that will be born in the future, God originally intended at the time of creation to be his perfect goodness. And it was the sin of Adam that broke that. And thenceforth, we are all born into sin with a propensity to, let's say, color outside the lines of Scripture and how God intended us to live, which is sin. So welcome to the human race, and therefore, fast forwarding even more, throughout the Old Testament, where Christ was prophesied, and all the prophecies that have come to pass have been fulfilled, and but the creation account is, to me, that is foundational, because without that, and then unfortunately leading into Adam's sin and what we inherited, and God seeking us out. God has been pursuing us since that time. Old Testament prophesies Christ, and God has made provisions for us, trying to bring us to him, into that perfection that now, because of sin, only Christ can fulfill. But yeah, the creation, understanding creation, I believe is foundational. So let me just quickly check my notes, because I take notes for some of these, all of these. Yeah, so thank you, and God bless. I hope this was a blessing. I hope this reinforces some of Genesis chapter 1 and our creation and origins for you. And I hope you have a great week. God bless.